bodies just flying.
Up and down action, very exciting. High scoring first half. Huge crowd here now in Annapolis. Kind of enjoy the up and down nature.
Jones backs down his defender, bouncer and a goal. Miles Jones is heating up.
So another aspect of Friday night was something that happened at halftime when the owner, Brendan Kelly, who's been on the sideline as a coach, won a championship as a coach of this team at one point, decided to come in and address the team. What did you take from that, and what do you think it meant to the guys?
Well, what I take from that is Brendan's extremely passionate, and he coached in 2010. Guys like Mike Evans and Matt Abbott were on that team, and I think it was more of a, hey, we've been here before, let's keep going. Let's keep playing hard, and things are going to turn our way. Just to show that he believed in the players and he believes in the coaches, and that whatever happened at half happened, and now we have a whole second half to change that. But I just think his passion, everyone as a player in the Bayhawk organization knows about that.
Yeah, I mean BK, I love him like a brother. I've known him half my life, and he's a coach too. He's a coach at heart, and he's an owner. But he's tough and physical, and he was a coach with us, and he's just like Reese, tough and that defensive mentality. So on the defensive end, we're giving up 15 goals. It's probably too much.
Danowski hustles for that first ball. Watch out on that board as he falls over.
Yeah, I mean, we're always fighting, so you can never knock our effort.
Basically a mini MLL season wrapped in one weekend.
As Hines gets dumped into the board.
You can never knock the heart of our team, which is great. The other stuff will fall in place, but you can't teach heart and hustle, so that's good.
Well, Brian, 7 games into the season, so the halfway mark for this Bayhawks team, and the record at 3-4 still allows you to chase all the goals you had at the beginning of the year. But 3 straight losses is not something anyone in a Bayhawks uniform or part of this organization wants. What's your level of concern as we stand here now after what's happened the last few weeks?
Yeah, not too concerned, I guess. Obviously concerned with the losing. That doesn't help. But the good news is we're in every game. We're not far away. So now for the first week, I think we'll have Lyle back. We'll have Jason Nimble back. So we'll be kind of full with our roster and kind of have our full complement of players. So now it's kind of when we see what kind of team we're going to be. How we respond to losing 3 games in a row, and what's going to take to kind of get us over that hump.
Clamp. It could be a long season for Williams.
Phipps takes that off the grill.
Maybe that'll wake him up, Evan.
A shot from Chanenchuk is a whistle on the field.
He's got an injury issue with his equipment.
Or it's equipment issue.
It popped his throat guard.
We talked about this in the Boston game. I think it was the 2nd or 3rd game of the year where you had to make the decision to pull Brian Phipps. He is banged up. He had taken a shot off the leg. Nico comes in. He plays well. He actually played in the last Charlotte game. It was an interesting point where Brian got off to a slow start, and then his equipment, his throat protector breaks. Nico goes in, makes a stop. I'm just curious, and I know fans watching would think, well, is that a time where you're supposed to go with the backup, ride the hot hand, if you will? How did you make that decision?
On the shot clock. Ooh! Face dodge from Curley. What a stop by Amato. Loose ball in front, picked up by Isaiah Davis-Allen, and Amato's going wild out there. Danowski rips the corner. End-to-end action ends with a goal for Chesapeake.
I like it, and I stay with Nico in the goal right now.
It was a tough call. Nico did make a save, but also let in a couple. So it was one of those things where, I kind of wanted to allow Brian to get his way out of it. I thought he did get better after that first, the first barrage of 6 goals. He kind of settled down a little bit. But yeah, we've got to make a decision there and get better in goal for sure. And you could see both of those guys play next week.
Okay, offensively, I think the positive is not only your ability to come back, but maybe some of the players and the way they play. Because we've talked a lot about Miles Jones. Obviously, Jake Vaccaro has his breakout game. But specific to Miles, what did you walk away thinking about when you sort of evaluated his play after some weeks where maybe he'd been a bit careless with the ball?
Sure. I think he let the game come to him. He was much more naturally in the offense, wasn't forcing things. He made those simple, maybe hockey assists where he draws a double and throws it behind, and then maybe we, get something on the backside. So he was really, much more unselfish, kind of let the game come to him and didn't try to force things.
Now, as Miles Jones scores his 3rd proving to be unguardable.
And again, tapping into some of your experience, is there a way, especially, I mean, these are young guys, but they're pros, they're not going to maybe take to gimmicks. How do you, if anything, do anything to avoid the slow starts?
Well, some of them have been pros for about 7 days. You know, they're college guys and everything. They have a whole week of practice and film watching and, you know, all during the week. So it's a much different preparation for them mentally to just come in, practice the night before the game, practice the morning of the game and play. As they're finding out whether they can play in this league or not. So it's more of a self-preservation than it is a self-preparation. And I think once they feel comfortable with their role in the league, they'll learn how to prepare and learn how to be successful as the older players do.
Decision down.
Some personnel and some of the rookies that played on Friday night. Jake Vaccaro, his second game, I think we saw why it is you valued him so high. Was there anything different other than just him, as you mentioned, we sat in this seat last week, just cutting it loose a little bit and playing with the freedom that we saw at Villanova?
Yeah, I mean, he was much more assertive. He's extremely skilled. And, you know, once you get that first one, the rest come easy, you know. And so I thought he was aggressive. I thought, you know, our coaches are encouraging him to be aggressive and looking for somebody to score. So, you know, once he scored, I think he became a different player.
Williams struggled with last week in Rochester and Drew Simino as Vaccaro comes flying out of the box. Will Haas just hounding him. Jake Vaccaro finally gets his first goal as a pro.
And Colin Heacock, you could tell, and that's a tough spot to be in where you're coming into attack and you're playing that exposition, which at times can be the quarterback. You could see he was sort of feeling it out, but then once he got one, he seemed to be very comfortable and part of that run that got this team back in the game in the second half.
Yeah, I thought, you know, there was an interesting goal. There was a Ben Williams, a rookie, went forward with the face-off, threw it to Josh Byrne, who went behind his back to Colin Heacock. So it was rookie to rookie to rookie. And I just think they're going to play better. I thought Colin with 2 goals in his first game is going to be pretty good. And Josh had 7 in his first game. He probably wasn't going to have 7 in the next game. You know, teams are going to concentrate on him. So I thought as a whole, the young players physically stood up to what we needed. And now we just have to play a little bit better. Again, I think I said last week, this is about assimilation, about you have 5 rookies playing in a game, you know, some of them have never played in a game. That assimilation is going to take some time.
Tries to shovel it to Byrne, who gets it to Heacock and scores. What a play from Byrne to Colin Heacock off the face-off for Ben Williams.
As I mentioned with Brian, your goals are all still in front of you, and that's important, but it does become one of those things where you're in a week-to-week gamble, if you will, with the numbers of you got to assimilate new players, but you need to find ways to win games.
Without question, but the same thing, if you focus only on winning, you're never going to win. You got to focus on doing things the right way. You got to focus on preparing the right way. You got to focus on being mentally ready. You got to focus on ground balls. You got to out-tough the guy you're playing against. And then if you do those little things, you know, you wind up winning. And what happens is every time you lose, it's a different reason why you lose. But when you win, the reasons are the same. You out-tough your opponent, you outwork your opponent, you outthink your opponent, and you play better as a team. Those things remain constant. So right now, you know, we've had holes in the dike. We put our thumb in one hole, then another one opens up. If we start doing the things that matter, the big things that matter, the little things, and victories will start to follow.
Ground ball.
They got numbers, trailer variety here.
Delayed 6-on-5, but Charlotte gets in the hole, but they do still have the rotation. Danowski, a step inside 2, and Matt Danowski scores. Back-to-back goals from Dino.